going to introduce you, Michael. So be ready.
Oh, and Shayde here. And then so what's
Well, actually, I had that set up right, so I just changed my mind when I was setting up the... Clarissa. SSA. And then are we going to do first me say welcome One Wednesday, then you're going to go to the thing and then back up. Good morning and welcome to One Yard Wednesday. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to One Yard Wednesday. We are so happy you're here. And if you know anyone who is looking for great deals on fabric, go ahead and share our live. You can also go ahead and watch us on YouTube. Be sure to like and share. And Facebook. Remember on Facebook that you cannot go back after 30 days and rewatch our lives, so the best place to go is on YouTube. All of the sale prices and the fabrics will be live after the show, so don't panic. You'll be able to get everything you need once the show is done, and you can sit back and listen to me talk for 25-30 minutes. I want to introduce my producer, Mr. Shayde. He's like a professional now. Like, look at that.
Getting there.
Getting there. I'm loving it. And then
slowly but surely.
We have Michael, who is, we're kind of putting him behind the camera this time. He's going to be doing some producing, which I'm really excited about. So that'll be kind of fun to see. And the quilt on set today, behind me is Clarissa, and I'll be talking a little bit more about this when we go through the fabric. And then behind Shayde is Strip and Dip. And that will be, I'll talk a lot more about that when we talk about the fabric, because I think what we're going to show today is a good example of what this fabric can be used for. So I have a question today. Okay, so we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to say the question, and then I'm going to give you guys time throughout the show to actually answer the question and see how many of you guys come up with something close to it. And then we will put the answer at the end of the show, and we'll be periodically putting up people's answers to kind of see where we fall. So the question is, what is the age a quilter starts their quilting journey? And I will reveal that answer after we go through the fabric. But in the meantime, be sure you are sharing the answer, what you think the answer is. And no cheating, by the way. Do not Google the answer to this. So the question, what is the age a quilter starts their quilting journey? So, all right. Let's get to the fabric. We'll get Shayde to pull up the overhead. Perfect. Okay, so we are doing Allison Glass Sunprint. We have actually done a lot of Allison Glass. I really like her fabric, and this one is more of a basic. So we've got a couple prints. This one in particular is kind of a main print in here, and it is called Trinket Charcoal. And as you can see, there's rainbow colors going on. So every single fabric we have in here is going to go with this print. And lots of different, what she would call trinkets, which is why they call it trinket. The next one is Diatom Pool. And in this one, you see that there are like stars, like little trinkets, but then there's this like very, like, looks like a little spider or swirl in the center. It's not a spider, but it does look like one. And this is in that aqua color or teal. The next one is woodland. So the next couple of fabrics are going to be woodland. And this one has all kinds of florals in it. In the purple, they call it iris. It's like a bluish purple color in there. The next one is strawberry. So same print, just in like a pink or strawberry color. And the next one is cobalt. This one has, it says cobalt, so it has blue, but it also has the florals kind of in an aqua teal color. These are all so bright and happy, which here right now is the weather is not bright and happy. And then we have tangerine and woodland, so a very bright orange color. And the next one is teal. Again, they have the darker color on the base, and then the lighter color is at the top in the print itself. So you have like that two-tone. It reads a little bit like a solid, but you have the texture to give your project some movement. And then we have charcoal. So this one you could definitely use in backgrounds, in accent colors, bindings, that kind of thing. It's kind of like a main print. And the last one in this print is Leaf. And obviously it's a green color, more of a yellow green. It looks green on the screen, but it is definitely more of like a yellowish green color. I'm actually going to move these down so I give you some room. We do have lots and lots of fabric to show. Okay, so then the next print we're going to be showing, it's called Scatter. I love this print. I'm actually going to be getting all of these because I love them so much. In aqua, it's a very bright aqua color. Again, the lighter color is kind of your background color and the darker color is your print. So this one is called Aqua, which is very fitting. And then we have the sunflower in the scattered. So very bright sunflowery color. We have sky, so our blue. And this one is a blue. It does not have that aqua color to it. And of course, my favorite color is purple. They call this pansy. Beautiful purple color. Okay. And then we have the night. And this one is more of a black with where the other one, this one had more of like a charcoal color to it. So if you're looking more for that really heavy black, this one definitely has that look and feel to it. And then we have taffy, bright pink, over here. And then fog, which is our light gray. Again, this one would be great in background or accent colors. You definitely use it in your main print or your main fabric. Then we have scattered in grass, and this is a very pretty green. It's like a light and a dark green, but it's so pretty. And the last one might be my favorite other than purple, because I can't cheat, is melon. And this is definitely, it has that melon look to it. Little bit of pink, little bit of orange to it. Give you some more space. We gotta make room. We have lots of fabric on here. And so those are the fabrics that we have with Sunprint. And then of course, I try to do this every time, come up with some other fabrics that you could use. So in the projects that I will be showing you, they have backgrounds in them, accents in them. So this is from last week. We have some more of this black on black fabric. So this is black floating squares. These would be perfect to use in the projects we're going to be showing you. And then black sprig, still 1 Yard Wednesday pricing on these particular ones. So these are ones that I picked that we definitely have plenty of if you need to have backgrounds for any of your projects or just to fill up your collection more. The next ones I'm going to be showing you are not 1 Yard Wednesday pricing, but I do like to give you options. So another option, I love this color wash line. It is fantastic. I've used it. I now have to rebuy because I've used it all. Scribble graphite, fantastic for a background. This would be awesome in backings also. And then I really, really, really love this one. It is Hush Hush 4 Sugar Rush. They're little tiny, you can see them, gummy bears. This would be awesome in a background or on the back of one of your quilts, showing off those little gummy bears on there. I love that. And then we have Fizz Seltzer, great in your backgrounds or in a backing. And then I picked out some kind of fun ones. These for sure would be great as a backing. So we have this one, it's got some words on it. I love using words in my backgrounds or as a backing. This says Voyager, Dreamer, Artist, Magician. So it's really kind of a fun print. And then this one actually is from a different Allison Glass Sunprint line. This is actually with the sale price. It's got all the wording in there, and I thought that would be really fun to use in backgrounds. So this is the Sunprint Texture Stone. And then, of course, I had to pick out something fun and bright. And Gradient's Euphoria Color Eruption would be fantastic as a backing for any of the projects we're going to show you here in a minute.
That looks really nice.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah.
And I just really thought all the colors in the line went really well with it. And I'm not really saying nice. You can't use it in your main project. It's just I wanted to give you an option for a backing. So some of the projects we're going to be looking at here is Clarissa. And if you can show Clarissa Shayde behind me. So with Clarissa, I thought this was perfect to have all these super bright colors in there. You could pick out the blacks and use that in your accent. Or maybe you want to use the Euphoria one as your accent. But this one, I think, gives it a lot of options to use with this fabric. And even if you wanted to use the main print, the trinket in there, that would be great. The other one I want to talk about is behind you, Shayde, is Strip and Dip. So Strip and Dip is our current strip along right now. And this fabric would be fantastic used in those. You could use the blacks as your accent. It would totally make all those bright colors pop. You could make it all one. You can make it all scrappy. I know this is a little wild, Shayde, but what do you think about Euphoria as the background? It's a little wild. It's a little out there, but that's how I saw. So any of these would be great as the backgrounds on that. And then if you could go to the overhead, I have a couple of these, another ones. So this is Strip to Shore. And since we're talking about strip quilts, sorry.
Watch it now.
We gotta have some fun, right? So this one I also thought would be fantastic with all these bright colors, and then you could bring in the grays and the blacks as your accent color. Just a lot of really fun, and I'm just really having fun with the actual strip quilting and some of the mixology books. So I've really been kind of falling back in love with all those, and that is a single pattern. Strip to Shore, so you can get that on the website, and it comes in 4 sizes. It's made with 2.5-inch strips. This would be perfect for you to use up some of your scraps. Here is Strip and Dip. That is also a single pattern, and you can purchase the pattern and then go back and you can re-watch the first segment. Make sure you go to YouTube to do this, of the actual strip along, and then last night she posted the second one. So watch those, because Gudrun puts up so much good information about this that you won't be intimidated by these diamonds. And then I don't have a sample of this one, but when I was looking for projects to do, I always try to give you as a quilt as you go, because that is really how Gudrun started. And we've got the Quilt As You Go batting coming out, which is fantastic. But I really like this one. And I really like this one because I don't know if you can tell in the picture, you definitely have Quilt As You Go, but there are a little bit of applique in here. And you could easily use these bright colors, and then the little circles that are in here, you could take some of the blacks. Maybe you want the white gummy bears to pop out on the top. And it would just be really, really a fun kind of addition to those. So that is Modern Charm Runner, and this one is a Quilt As You Go. And then my last project is this one called Spring Fling. And this is a PDF video class. You want to show that. You can get this online as a PDF pattern with a video class. And this one I thought would be fantastic with all of these super fun, bright colors. Of course, I had to pick the one that had summer and stuff. But I really love the backing, and I think this is where you guys could really kind of bring your personality out and put something kind of fun. I always like to do the backs of my quilts where you turn it over and you go, oh, didn't see that one coming. So that is Spring Fling. And let's go and talk about our notion for today.
One quick question someone has before we go to the notion.
Yeah, not a problem. Do we find the strip along video in Tipsy Tuesday or is it a separate video? So you can find it in Tipsy Tuesday, but we do actually separate out the actual tip of the day, which is the strip along. On YouTube, you will be able to find it as a separate video. Good question. Okay.
Very good question.
Very good question. Be sure that you're sharing your answers to the question of the day. Do I need to repeat the question of the day? What is the age a quilter starts their quilting journey? Okay, and I will reveal the answer after our review of the fabric. So I'm going to talk about the notion and perfect. So the notion today, if you want to go to the overhead, is light steam seam. And I picked this because of the modern charm runner uses applique, and this is a great usable product to do any applique. So the best part about this is that you can take your applique and you can draw on the top of your paper, so whatever it is that you're making, and then you cut it out to the shape that you want. Always cut around the shape a little bit bigger. Fuse it to your actual fabric, and then you can peel off the top and then fuse it onto the project. So it's super easy. It has a lot of great stick to it. This one is a little bit lighter weight, so if you're using it in like a quilt, it won't be crunchy and heavy. It won't add any weight to it, and it's a really great project. I know that people have used steam seam a lot, and I know when I'm doing any type of applique, when it comes to like, which I do very little of, but I do like to do collage applique, and I use steam seam. And it's the best project out there. So that is our notion for today, steam seam chew. All right, so we're going to actually go back, review our fabrics really quick, and we'll go through the projects, and then I will answer the question that we asked at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we got a lot of answers.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I love it. So the first thing we're going to look at is the first fabric on here. If we go to the overhead, my notes, and we have the trinket in the charcoal. This is a great, you could actually use this as a background also. I just thought it would be really good to use this as a main print. We also have the diatone pool in here. This is a teal aqua color, and you can see in here there's like this little swirly print in there, which is kind of fun. All of the next prints we have are woodland. That's the name of it. And this is iris. It's like a pink, not a pink, it's a purple color, more of like a bluish purple. And then we have strawberry, more of a pink color. We have the sky, cobalt, sorry. Cobalt actually has the blue background with a little bit of the aqua or teal color in the print. We have tangerine. I'm not an orange person, but I really love this orange. We have aqua or teal in the next one. We have charcoal in woodland, and we have leaf in the woodland. So our next print is called Scatter. I love these. These are so much fun. And this one is called teal, I think, or aqua. I can't remember. It is aqua. Then we have sunflower with the yellow. We have the sky in the blue. We have pansy, which is purple. The next one is night in our black. So this is not a charcoal. It is a black. And then we have taffy. We have fog. Green is grass. And then we have melon, which you cannot see very well. So let's move that over. And it's a very pretty orange, corally color. So then I picked out definitely some blacks from our last 1 yard Wednesday. So we have the black iron cross, the black sprig, and the black floating squares. All of these are at the 1 yard Wednesday price. And I also picked out the Allison glass Sunprint text stone because I thought all three of these would make great backgrounds for any of the projects that we have here and then some. And then the next ones are not on sale. This is sold individually. These are not in a set. So when you go onto the website, you will have to buy these individually. Fizz Seltzer is a gray with a white. It's not really white. It's got a little more of a cream background. It's not a white. Hush Hush 4, which is our Sugar Rush, which is the little gummy bears, which I think is so cute. It would be so great in a background. Color Wash Scribble Graphic, becoming one of my favorite fabrics. And then we have the Writing on the Wall stamped white. So this one has some words on it. Artist, Alchemist, Shimmer. It's got Dreamer, Voyager. This would be super fun in a background or on backing. Any of these would be great for a backing. And then I had to go wild and I had to pick out the Gradients Euphoria color Eruption Rainbow. I just thought this would make a fantastic backing for any of the projects that we showed. And
that's your favorite, isn't it?
I think so. I think it is my favorite. And the gummy bears. You can't go wrong with gummy bears, right? And then our projects for today are Strip and Dip, which is behind Shayde. You want to show that? That is our current strip along that we have going on right now. She's released 2 segments, and you can watch those segments on YouTube. I can't wait to do this pattern. It is awesome. And then behind me, I have Clarissa, which definitely works great with all the bright colors. You can use some of those blacks and whites and grays as your accent or your rainbow in there. And then we have Strip to Shore. Show that in the overhead. Another great project using 2.5-inch strips that you can use all of these bright colors with some of the blacks and grays. And I'd be crazy. Maybe I would use the rainbow in here. You never know. And then we have the Spring Fling, which is a video PDF pattern. It's a quilt as you go. Yeah, this is a quilt as you go. Again, I think this would be fantastic. You could put the rainbow one in the middle and then build off of that with all your colors. You could put the gummy bear in the middle and then build off of that. This one just has so many really cool options. And then I have the Modern Charm I don't have a sample of this, which I think now I have to make one. Modern Charm Runner is also Quilt As You Go. It has a little bit of applique in here, so you could definitely use all the bright colors and then go in and do like the black or a white on the top and applique those circles in there, which is really fun. And that brings me to the Notion, which is our Steam Seam, which I lost. It's in my pile somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Anyways, Steam Seam 2. And that is a product that you use to do your applique with. So you can draw on the top of it, fuse it to your project, to your fabric, cut the actual printout that you're doing, and then fuse it onto the fabric that you're using. So it's a really great project. It's a lightweight, so it's not going to add a lot of weight to your project. So if you want to use it in a quilt, you can definitely use it in a quilt, and it's not going to add much weight to it. So the answer to our question today, I decided to dive into the quilting industry and ask a lot of questions about what's going on and what we're doing in the quilting industry. So the question is, what is the age a quilter starts their quilting journey?
We've got a lot.
And I want to know what you think and Michael think about this. What do you think the age is?
You know, you can't really ask me.
Well, that's why I'm asking you, because you would be like randomly saying something.
I would be. However, as a producer, I'm seeing a lot of the
answers.
Yeah. What people
okay, you'd
think.
be cheating. Okay, Michael.
So I'm kind of skewed here.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah. What age?
Because I think the world revolves around me, I would say the average age is 29.
Okay.
Good answer.
So
let's throw up some of the
let's throw up some of the answers.
Let's see what people are saying.
I want to see. 50, good guess. That's a really good guess.
Got another 50.
So 2 50s.
Mm-hmm. Check this out.
Sewing at 11, started quilting at 30. Wow, that's awesome, Cindy.
A few more.
58, that's a good guess. And 38. Those are all really, really good guesses. So I will give you the answer right now. The average quilter began quilting regularly at the age of 48 and considers themselves to be an intermediate level sewer. A lot older than I actually thought. Nice. But I started sewing in high school at the age of 8. My guess is 10. 8 at the age of like 16 or 17. But I will say that it wasn't till I was probably in my 30s that I got super into quilting, because of course, what are we doing in our 20s and 30s? Raising a family, right? Yeah. Going to college, doing all those things. So we don't have time for any of that. Yes, yes. And I also think we have a little more money later in our life than we did prior to that. So
and then there's that.
Yeah. So that is our show today. Thank you, Shayde, for producing the show. You did a wonderful job. Thank you, Michael, for joining us. And thank you for actually being here with me on a Wednesday and sharing your time, letting me show you wonderful fabric. Have a wonderful day.